LeBlanc up and threaten the counter pick of Vex in the hands of Takoi, who, by the way, last time these two teams met, FlyQuest, Takoi was legendary 8-0 and Johnson was 8-1. So the carries were eating good.
I gotta say though, FlyQuest pretty good scouting overall. Yuumi is the band up against Shenyi, one of the few players who actually still plays that champion in this day and age. So that is a scouting band. It does leave Zeri up, and though she was nerfed in 12-4, a lot of teams still consider her to be by far the best champion. So interesting to see FlyQuest said, well, it's more important to get rid of Speaka's Hecarim. Let's take the Zeri. And I will say, they have spent a lot of draft resources every time to get Johnson Jinx. In 14 games, he's got 10 of those on Jinx. If you figure both teams want the champ, you get half and half or a bit less with bans. Nah, 10 out of 14, he is on that champion every single time. And it means they can wait to pick it on 3, unless they want to go some more wild.
And to me, it's not too wild if you do want to give up Zeri and then take the Senna route. I still think, and this is one of my favorite picks into it, because of the Q slow being added to it, because of being able to play the early lane phase through minions and try and abuse Zeri by poking her, getting souls off her, and not allowing her to hit you back with your Qs. That's an option if they do want to show that, but they already locked in Nautilus, so we shall see. Ahri and Rek'Sai, so much early playmaking. Rek'Sai is such a rare champ for pro play, but so good for solo queue. This is my current main in solo queue because you can spam ganks with this champion like no other. There's so many routes over the thick walls behind either bottom lane or top lane. You can come from behind your opponents at level 3 very early on into the game and pull off some very rare ganks that no other champion ever goes for. So I want to see that. You can also tunnel over the back of Raptor Pit, abusing mid laners like the Syndra that we have here, who has no dashes, no escapes. So I am so excited. Speaka Rek'Sai. This champion also is the preferred counter pick into Lee Sin. If Lee Sin lands a Q on you, all you have to do is attack move the ground. When Lee Sin comes in, you will auto unburrow and you will deny the second Q damage. You will also win the 1v1 at that point. If your timing is correct, you can even get your ult off and immune the kick coming in. So there's so many little things you can use to try and play against the Lee Sin. The kick one is the most difficult. Timing has to be perfect, but...
And I want to bring back the Rek'Sai tech talked about when last time we saw Brock bring out this champion. 3 points Q, max E is the build of the Rek'Sai mains. You can tell if they know how to play Rek'Sai by the skill order on the champion. I want to see Speaka do it right.
E was definitely nerfed in the last round of nerfs towards Rek'Sai, but that is still the better build. Even though it was nerfed and targeted specifically, still should go for that. But man, I already am so excited by the first 3 champions here for TSM because there is a lot of aggressive playmaking. Meanwhile, FlyQuest, they lock in the Aphelios this time since Jinx is banned away from TSM. And your stats for Johnson get a little bit worse for you. A little bit less of the Jinx.
They cared more about getting Syndra in time as an answer into Ahri and said, all right, we'll wait otherwise. Go ahead and give us the bans. We'll go kind of second choice here. Only one other Aphelios game on the season had normally defaulted to Jhin. Not going to be grabbing that one, of course, here. It does give them a pretty heavy CC combo. If you've got the right guns, Nautilus plus Jhin is like, I want to say like 4 seconds of hard CC, 5 depending on what rank the Nautilus ulti is, and his passive, those both scale up with character level, so that's going to be pretty meaningful. And it's time for one final lock. They need a top laner to answer this Tryndamere. FlyQuest are undefeated with top lane counter pick.
3-0 as the analyst desk investigated and pointed out. This is not a powerful counter pick, though. This is a denial counter pick. The reason why Gragas into Tryndamere is picked pretty frequently is because Gragas can deny Tryndamere. It's not because you get to beat Tryndamere, it's because you get to deny him. The body slam can deny the engages. Your cask is very useful for later into the team fights as well with the ultimate. Tryndamere getting knocked around with either body slam or cask will buy you a lot of space and kind of deny the win cons there for the Tryndamere player, but it is much more of a team-oriented pick for them.
All right, both teams on a slide. Who's going to right the ship? TSM is FlyQuest coming up.
This is the sort of pride that gets you in those big moments, allows you to take down giants.
we are back and ready to go. TSM for the first time putting Huni on a Tryndamere. I will say I liked the look of his Rumble last week. I think I do like him on the more individualized champions. That reminds me of back when he was so dominant, was him pushing his own leads, getting help when needed. You've got an aggressive jungler. I mean, this is basically Immortals 2016 when you've got Huni and Rek'Sai ready to camp for him.
All right, well, we'll see if we can channel the rain over.
Yeah.
In this one as well. Spica, Rek'Sai, I'm excited. So many plays, so many aggressive plays you can go for early on in the game. Champion does not scale well. Scales like a wet bag, so definitely looking for the early influence. Later on to the game, you pretty much are forced into a playstyle of trading your life for some sort of high priority champion life. Not easy to get out because of, again, the last round of nerfs we mentioned to the E cooldowns. Reduce the mobility of the champion. Level 1, though, not going to have too many exciting invade plays here. Just some very shallow vision for both of them. And Jose will also know that his Raptors have been sighted.
Minions have spawned.
We get a little bit of a scuffle down here. They can fight for this ward pretty easily and be taken down.
Double sweepers, too. So Spica also starting with a sweeper here for TSM. So heavy investment in the vision denial. Already pays off with the early ward kill. There for tactical. Tiny bits of extra gold, freak.
Yep. Start of the miracle run. A 4-game losing streak for TSM, a 3-game losing streak for FlyQuest, both of which had rough super weeks. See which one's going to make it happen here. Be a FlyQuest buff of some kind. Good luck.
Definitely a revenge game here for TSM as well. FlyQuest kind of stomped him last time around. Both FlyQuest carries performing really well. See if Spica can get some early influence, though. Red quadrant clear, it looks like, for him, so wants to get up to influence either top or mid lane. Rek'Sai, you have to get level 3, though. It's not a Jarvan-style champion. Level 2 does nothing for you because you will not have your tunnel to be able to pull off the ganks, so should be a full red quadrant clear for the Rek'Sai. It's very easy with the innate AoE of your Qs.
Yep. Takeover doesn't get anything out of the early level 2. Shared in the ward XP from the one sweep, but didn't manage to find a fight. Nice job by Huni, though. Does the exact thing on his 2. Gets a spin and an auto. Kuma can't do much about that. It's going to be not a big deal. Of course, Gragas has plenty of sustain. With Doran's Ring, if you damage a champion, you get some mana back, and you can just keep funneling that into your passive.
Yeah, exactly. And again, this champion is picked for denial on Tryndamere. You body slam him on his engages. You can get your grasp auto off. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You deny, you stack up, you get very, very tanky. Makes it difficult for the Tryndamere to operate or chase anyone down. Team fights also get more difficult for him because the Gragas is adept at pushing around these melee carries. Will double for pretty useful versus the Rek'Sai as well. Interesting recall here. It was the bottom hover for Spica, fishing around for possible engage here on the bottom side, but Aphromoo does not take the bait. And if it's not Aphromoo moving forward to force the fight, then it is too risky to force the fight on the side of TSM there. So he goes for the recall, very early recall for the Rek'Sai, just gets the long sword and goes up to transition to the top side of the map. I do like hovering and spending a fairly small amount of time as a jungler for possible very big rewards, though. And even though nothing comes of that play, hovering for the possible counters on those aggressive setups can be extremely rewarding, can win you early games every so often.
For sure. And speaking of early games, looks like there's probably not a real gank on a takeover right now. Looking at Tryndamere versus Gragas from solo queue, which, hey, it's not always the same thing, right? It's not pro play. In general, Tryndamere has the better early game. Early game meaning like up through like 1 to 2 items. Like his first tower rate is like 60%. Like eventually he's going to win this lane. That's usually what happens here in solo queue. The Gragas eventually kind of outscales and like, hey, if you weather the storm, if you get 25, 30 minutes, you're just going to feel way better because now you're taking enough that you just, hide your side lanes and you're fine, and then your team fight looks better. So that's probably the shape that I'm looking for from the top side.
Yeah, exactly what highlighting in the setup for that matchup. Meanwhile, Kumo continues to stack up this HP as well, so playing into the scaling with his grass. Bottom side will be the transition for Spica, but it is so heavily warded here that there's going to be no surprise. Passes over the ward here, pull right back for it. I think FlyQuest pretty happy with the opening here. No specific early plan has been able to gain value for TSM. Going for the long route around the Scuttle Crab, though, to gank that bottom lane. And we did kind of talk about this long wall being a possible point of entry for Rek'Sai, but it's also a mid roam, and the mid laner went right over that scuttle, so
but they're pushing up for the wave, getting it out the towers. They're going to flash for the play, cleanses it away. Will they get Johnson out? Flashes back, still knocked up by Spica. They'll trade him back on a Shen Yi, but not looking too bad. Afro's still alive. Spica's low. Spica almost has the tower. He's got 100 health, and Tukui's on the way. Does he land the Scout of the Week? He can't really go through tactical. Maybe he can. Hook is going to land.
Ooh,
In the
Afro!
root. Is it going to be enough? He trades back, but they're going to get it all the same.
Meanwhile, what you're paying for this topside invade, you see Lee Sin and Gragas pushed in the Trymir, big wave, they take away the jungle, and they themselves
He's not getting 6
are
off
looking
this.
for payment.
He won't be 6 off this wave. It's not the wave you get. So do they land the skill shots? Has to flash away. Kumo flashes the same time Huni does, gets out.
Good play there from Huni. He got most of the experience still from the top big wave that was built up on him, and he outplays there. Ghost early for the distance gain, and then flash for flash. So on the weak side here for Huni, he's able to evade the counterplay from FlyQuest. Here's another look at the forced dive though. Spica went all the way around, Takeover went over the Scuttle Crab, bottom lane pushes in the minion wave though, and they get Johnson's flash out very early, so that then Takeover and Spica can answer it. They pull off that kill, Afromove flashes away, and so the heated up turret, with the fully heated up 4 shots already charging to full value there, does a lot of damage to Spica, and means that he can't join this 2v2 that is then forced by Afromove, hitting that hook onto Tactical and getting the kill trade.
Thankfully, Tukui gets himself the kill. It was his Ignite on the Zeri, so able to get the 300 gold on the right targets. You can see Takeover and Tactical, 300 each, so I guess 1 for First Blood. Sadly for FlyQuest, Afro did have 1 of those kills. The first one, he had the burn down on Shen Yi, so gold not in the ideal place, but still a very close game here. FlyQuest pushing in the bottom lane.
All right. Yeah, should be no play off of this wave. It's not super big. Single wave being pushed in on Tactical is going to be transitioned over to the Dragon instead for FlyQuest. Much less risky. Like this call from them. Recall timer on support means Jose can just start up this Dragon, and Hextech will go to the side of FlyQuest. Meanwhile, Spica invading on top side and should look to be able to get red number 2. Counter jungled here, so can at least pay for that dragon with a red buff. There you go. Well done by Spica. Problem is, this Gragas already off of first purchase. Single best item you can have versus double AD auto attackers on top side. You really have a hard time dying. With Warden's Mail picked up, Grasp and passive healing for the Gragas. That's really a non-factor as far as TSM trying to gain leverage on top side with the 2v1. So Spica just takes the red and then looks to try and play off of Takeover here, who we're trying to highlight. Back in on the starting lineup here for TSM on one of those kill pressure champions. So once he has access to the ultimate here with the Ahri, is trying to pull off those more aggressive plays that he is known for.
And look to fake a roam toward top. Not going to do anything, though. They both kind of walk back through it here. So the McTreads are on, and actually Tukui able to hold on to his wave. And right in front of the turret, so it's going to make Ahri have to overteam to play for it. But level 6 Ahri has ulti, pretty much ungankable here by Lee Sin. A bit of damage, but again, with McTreads, actually has enough stats to survive most of these fights. Jose Diodo able to sidestep the vision as he walks down to the bottom side. We'll see this is a play because ulti, flash, ignite, all up for the FlyQuest mid laner. And that means, hey, Syndra, I got boots too. I got some move speed. I'm going to walk back to mid.
Yeah, let's see if there's anything of these junglers circling, because we're into 8 minutes here. 8.5 minutes means Rift Herald is available, and Kumo's currently got the push on top side with that Gragas. So if mid lane receives a big chunk, that would mean FlyQuest would have 2 pushing solo lanes to try and set up with. And even though there is a control ward in this side brush here, and Spica kind of slips in and threatens, won't be any play as of yet. This is
Shen Yi's first.
gonna take a little while to actually take down this Rift Herald. And you look at the bottom lanes, as you mentioned, Freak, it is gonna be the early roam from the TSM side, crossing over mid now. So they're revealing, hey, we are committing everybody to this Rift Herald. Bottom lane for FlyQuest should go back and try and push and try and get some turret plates. You've got Aphelios. They actually wasted a decent amount of time kind of half hovering, trying to follow that roam. And instead of getting Aphelios up to the turret, which is one of the best turret takers if you've got your white gun, they're going to have a hard time pushing before Tactical even gets back here. So Tactical won't even lose any minions. Johnson, even with the white gun here, with Afromove trying to help him push, won't get paid for the time.
And that's really rough, right? That's just like FlyQuest not really knowing what they want to do at that time. They don't go to the Herald. They don't do anything with it. It's 2v0 in the lane, and they deny 3 CS. Like, if this is EG, Danny's taking half that turret down.
Yeah, definitely out macroed by TSM there. TSM with the early priority on bot. They roam first, and they make good use of it. So, well done by Tactical and Shen Yi.
Yeah.
Shen Yi being back in the lineup, of course, is going to have a magnifying glass on himself. All of the controversy surrounding the benching in the first place. And, you know, props to the TSM coaching staff this time around, coming out with some more thorough explanations as to what went on, but also stating that they feel like he has made the necessary improvements in Academy and has improved on the communication there.
And well done to Kumo. I mean, he got half a level lead because of the gank that went on. Like, Huni got some of the XP, but he obviously missed some. He's, you know, still 8 to 9 right now. Top lane's going really, really well. A 20 CS lead for Kumo, but now in the bottom river, a fight going on. Ulti's gonna come across. Afro ignited, but able to walk away. Do you take it? No. Not able to get anything more done. Shady flash the wall, doesn't want to be anchored in. So ultimately, hey, a trade of summoners. Well, actually, a trade of ultimates. Yeah. FlyQuest holding out every single summoner spell.
And this is the tanky boy Afromu. He's got his aftershock, so he turns around, hits the ultimate, gets a summoner spell advantage out of the attempt here from TSM. And this is right ahead of the dragon. You've got 1 minute is usually the super like safe recall for neutral objectives. That gives you plenty of time to go get your control wards and get back out onto the map after a reset. Pushing out bottom lane first so that Spica can move in. Spica does not reveal his position, lets his other teammates clear out the ward. They don't know that the extra one is in front of Dragon, though.
Stops the recall. Nice play by Huni. A little bit of damage back, but not going to mean too much overall. So, yeah, chilling right there. Gold still tied between these teams. Good side step. Takeover gets away from the Syndra stun. You play to the sides. You don't get, you know, E'd from the early queue. You don't get the trade. And it's going to be just fine. So, pretty much chilling down there. Still going to be a CS lead. And once again, Kukui gonna try to roam to the bottom side. Dragon's up in 12 seconds. As Johnson clears into the tower, Afro's gonna find Shen Yi. Decent damage here where they find the rest of it. Puts the W down. Gonna take damage for a while. And they're gonna save. Oh, actually burn the ulti, but it's enough to find the kill. Jose Diodo now on the board with number 3, and that should mean Dragon.
Yeah, that's a very timely pick there for FlyQuest. They move first into the Dark River. Well done by FlyQuest. Afromu, always the leader here. Pulls off the quick play onto Shen Yi. No flash from the Leona because they burned it last time around at the top river play. And FlyQuest, 2 dragons. Kumo, can he get out of this one, though?
The outplay, explosive cast, but right back in is the Ahri. That's got to be everything landing. Yes, indeed. That was great by Huni. He flashed in front of the body slam, and there was nowhere else to go. One on the board for the top lane.
And they've got the damage to pull off the kill because Takeover with the roam up here to top side. All that AP damage strikes right through the extra armor that was invested in by Kumo. Is this going to result in a lot of tower plates on top side, but it's being traded for turret plates on the bottom side? And Afromu goes.
Flash ulti, Tactical out of dashes, no flash available, so now you just go right onto her. Nice stopwatch buy this time. They got to reset the tower, and it is back on the tower. Tactical comes back into range. That is a tactical decision, Summoner. That is a mouth I've ever seen one. And now Shen Yi's next up. Once again, Afro pulls the aggro. He should be able to drop that tower right here, and that's kill picked up. What a tower dive from FlyQuest. What a cross map from TSM.
No respect for the purple gun, freak. Where's the purple gun respect? Gets into range, Johnson hits the root, and it's a double kill for FlyQuest on bottom side. Yeah, the towers are kind of traded, but FlyQuest pick up the extra kills. They don't finish up on the tower, though, so TSM, they still got the gold for the entire tower there and are now ahead 770 gold. So despite the dragon lead for FlyQuest, which is significant at pretty early 2 dragons, TSM do get something back for themselves after their top play. Here's another look at it, though. Afromu hooks into the wall first to take some damage, but because they brought down Syndra, they just can force this play. Afromu walks up, flashes, forces it onto Tactical, who flashes out early to gain the distance, but then goes back in for his teammate, does not respect the purple gun in hand from Johnson, and Johnson, quick punish there. You love to see it. Auto into root. Takui follows up, and they've got the damage to finish off. Then they can go back for Shen Yi later. Afromu getting to the edge of turret aggro as well. Nicely done here, juggling the tower aggro. Yep. Nobody in real danger. They didn't have time to push down as many turret plates in the aftermath, though, because they did take a while to take those kills. So that's going to lead to the slight gold advantage here for TSM.
Yep.
And 2 dragon disadvantage for them.
Oh, good job there by FlyQuest. Yeah, 900 gold for 2 kills, and just the first tower itself is 650. 2 plates, that's, well over 900 already, and anything more than 2 plates keeps adding to it. So yes, TSM got more gold, but now we have another look. 2.5 minutes till Dragon. Shenyi able to sidestep right at the range of CinderQ. Well done. They find us on an Afro. Easy target. Charm that just does nothing. Well set up, but it's a 1-for-1 as the Leona goes down. Johnson left alone. Flashes away. Oh, he may just live. A double kill in. Juki finds 2, and he's looking for number 3. Tactical kicked right into range. A triple, and he's on for more. Jose Cito is the big man on campus. A quadra kill.
A quadra kill for Tuki Nation! Jose! Oh my goodness, he is a wake freak. Quadra kill for the Lee. My goodness, he is popping off to styling with the flash there. What a play from FlyQuest. They clean up in the river.
Yo, this is where you say jungle diff in all chat when you're Kumo. It's like, I'm just chilling against Tryndamere, man. I'm building tank items, I'm scaling. Give me that teammate.
Let's get into it. Jose, Pro View. Lee Sin comes down. All right, so he's got an extra control ward in inventory. They're fishing around. Afromu goes for what I've got to assume is the bait because he instantly dies. He gets popped. But then it is salvaged by the rest of the FlyQuest players. Johnson flashes away from Spica's flash. So what? Jose is allowed to follow with his Q there.
What flash is that?
Then he flashes forward on takeover to get in range, make sure he can slow, and he knows with his red buff afterwards.
The flash and the charm was sick.
Yeah.
I don't know what Spica was doing, but whatever. Oh, we got another one. Hey, takeover. Hey, buddy, your sweeper saw Lisa and a Nautilus. Run away.
Jose, 3.5k damage from the jungler.
Yeah. That's nice. That's just really well done. That was a really, really good play right here. And so FlyQuest back ahead in gold. Now, TSM still going for what they can, though. Keep in mind, they still got this area. They got the Herald Summon. Will nearly knock down this tower. I believe it might be just enough. Depends who's going to be in range. Oh, they burn it! Despite being summoned in range, they couldn't fight for control, and they get nothing out of the summon.
Yeah, meanwhile, TSM still hoping that the Tryndamere split push is going to get them some more advantages because they're losing on the other side of the map. Tokoi just bullies takeover off. Ultimate here, traded for the pressure, gets the tower, gets the wave in, and it's just the Tryndamere pushing for TSM that is going to leverage them any sort of advantage because they lose the other 2 lanes worth of push. And FlyQuest now slingshots ahead in gold, 1,000 to their name after the quadra kill and after the 2 lanes. Dragon
3.
Yeah, that's going to be a
23-minute Ocean Soul, Kobe? Jeez. Like, yeah, this one, like, the scoreboard doesn't look absurd right now, but it's going to be really absurd really, really fast. And you can see FlyQuest, they let Jose last hit the dragon. Their priorities are on the right spot.
Thank you. I will take the extra gold. The big environment is indeed out to play today. FlyQuest trying to make their record versus TSM 2-0. We do have a quick pause here, but man.
Outfit against Jace a while back. I want to point out that a lot of people like to default to Bramble Vest, but when does Trynd heal? After the fight, he'll hit you, wait 3 seconds, then press Q, and your Bramble cut 0 healing. When does Rek'Sai heal? When tunneling. Oh, after the fight, when I'm done hitting you. Again, you get no healing cut, so very good to go this way instead.
Exactly, and you're not trying to kill the Tryndamere in your lane. You're trying to, survive and CS and stack up and be a tank for your team. So buy the item that is appropriate for your goals in this situation too.
Well, knocking down the waves and 1.1 thousand, but on Soul Point. FlyQuest are going to force the next team fight in about 4 minutes time, and it could look really good for them, and that'll pretty much explode the lead they've got in this game. TSM otherwise have played it pretty close because of cross-mapping somewhat. Right, there was that good play towards top lane. They got the turret down. They got a big surge in gold. But FlyQuest since then have had some good fights. So they're still not to play, but will be on the table before we ever see the dragon. So always a possibility that TSM makes it spicy.
Yeah, I also too want to bring back up the Rek'Sai because this is rarely seen in pro play, and it becomes difficult now as we transition to team fights to play Rek'Sai into some of these blocking champions. We mentioned Gragas for denying on Tryndamere, but Body Slam also overrides Rek'Sai. So it is one of the annoying champions to also play this jungle against later on because it makes your team fights more difficult. You always will go for Prowler's Claw on Rek'Sai so you can get your play off. Try and get your flash into Prowler's Claw, play onto a viable target. But Syndra is kind of annoying with the long range scatter the weak. Gragas as well provides some problems. Yep. And Pony trying to keep up. as much as he can for the split push here for TSM. He's got Shenyi in brush.
Is it enough? 2v1 does not have tenacity on this champion. Checks the other brush. Squire's Bloom Instincts. See, someone's here, but not there.
And you can't really burst him down. So you don't have a lot of damage here into the tank Gragas because Hullbreaker is great for split pushing for the Tryndamere, but it's not like the Gale Force Tryndamere. You know, it's not like you have a lot of extra kill pressure on a target. It's more for pushing.
I don't know how this works. If Shenyi's in the brush, does he just know, oh, Hullbreaker's off? Right? Because you have to be hunting alone for that to work.
There's no way he like clicks on him and
I mean, I'd have to check for, you know, like, does the particle go away, for example, right? I mean, I wonder. Anyway, we've got a fight here in the mid side. Is flash jump on a tactical. Great jump over the wall. It's a good play.
Yeah, ultimate down, but very difficult trying to pounce on Zeri, especially close to all these walls. Here is the FlyQuest move to kind of retake vision around Baron buff, though, and they've got the teleport flank.
Here we go.
Tactical.
Looking for Tactical. That's an easy body slam. They're going to get the cast there as well. And a nice stun from Shenyi. Tactical will be safe. Well done for the peel. Nice try by Kumo.
Yeah, you know, I got a nice try, but you don't get anything out of the Zeri. Zeri evades the entire play, teleport used, and what did you get? You lost a turret on bottom side. So Tryndamere and TSM very happy with this. Good evasive maneuvers by Tactical, and the rest of TSM punish appropriately for the full commitment from FlyQuest.
Nicely done. 300 gold difference, and the Dragons themselves are not worth a lot of stats. Long gone are the seasons where they gave you a ton of combat power. It's you know, 80% of the power is the road towards Soul. So you can consider TSM close for this fight, and they should be able to fight for Dragon Soul.
Yeah, it's like if you're playing a drinking game and there's like King's Cup, and every dragon you're adding more and more into the middle.
Waiting. Yep.
You don't get the payoff until someone actually gets the soul, someone actually drinks the cup.
1 minute to go. Again, we know Dragon is that. We know Baron is eventually a play, but right now it's actually TSM with better ward control. They've got the control wards inside that pit. So we look then to what is the wave state? Who's pushing what? Gale Force Hullbreaker is in here. Is that danger? Nah, ulti's not up for Shenyi. Had used it to peel earlier. That, I think, would have been a Cleanse Force. I don't know if you'd actually trade ult for Cleanse the team fight coming in 30 seconds, but a possibility. Very, very low. Tactical can Q it. Kills it with the Triforce. Nicely done.
Yeah,
they can't spend.
One of the safest champions for doing that, going and sniping those turrets, using the range effectively there for himself. Nice laser through the remnants of their turret too. Those things can still be dangerous, still counts as terrain.
Here we go, 15 seconds on this play. They're going to look actually at the Tryndamere first. He's going to jump around, has Ghost, has Flash as well. Gale forces away, holds onto the ulti, holds onto the Flash. But with no commitment really, except their time, FlyQuest get 2 cooldowns out of the Tryndamere, and now they can run for the bottom river. But can they get there in time? They are rushing Dragon ASAP. This can get burned quickly. Does Jose get in range? He can potentially smite. He's stunned by Shenyi, but it won't burn in time. Here comes the fight, kicks him out of the pit. Flash 40! And Dragon is claimed by Jose Diodo. What can he do except just win the whole time? Thank you very much to get the kill on Shenyi. FlyQuest own everything.
Tukey. There was 46, I believe, HP on that dragon. FlyQuest are wearing the Ocean Soul. The most thematic and appropriate FlyQuest Soul buff for themselves. That also means they can transition over to Baron. Not only do they have 1 member advantage, but the sustain of the Ocean Soul allows you to start Baron as many times as you want. You've got White Gun for Johnson, burning through it, building up the chakrams. You look at this mini-map though, Leona's coming from base, joining for TSM to try and get there. Tryndamere has no teleport, so they're just poking around. The best they could hope for would be some sort of pick or steal, and they give up on that.
Yep, Kumo sitting over the wall, has Cask, once again has body slam, checks all the brushes, no one's here, thank you very much. Baron claimed, and FlyQuest look to stop the losing streak, looking to push TSM down to 1-9.
All right, reset for FlyQuest. Item completions coming in. Bloodthirster on top of an Ocean Soul. Johnson is going to be a very, very healthy Aphelios. He's also got Gale Force and Stopwatch in inventory for the playmaking. Attempt here from TSM to try and burn down this dragon. The takeover is pretty far away, and it just comes down to the jungle smite fight because while Jose kicks him out of the pit, the dragon still has enough health before he gets back in. 12, 946. Got it exactly there. Jose picks up the last hit on it.
DKE Smite was just 50 damage too shy, unfortunately.
Good attempt at the combo, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was timed appropriate. It was just, again, 45 off, which, like, if anyone autos one more time, that's the Smite, right? And you get it, you stop Soul, and, you know, just the way it kind of went in this one. Top lane now under fire. 4 members of FlyQuest ready to go, and they're going to share some turret gold. Afro's going to even get his cut. Thank you very much. Turret goes down. I'm going to go for a bit more as the gold lead keeps going. Trin, we're going to keep the silent split push going, is going towards Armor Pen. Kind of needs it pretty desperately to cut through this Gragas. Shenyi puts a ward down to try to track the movements toward mid, but top lane tier 2, pretty much a formality here.
Yes, sir. And the Teemo emotes start coming out. I've actually seen this meta evolve in Champions Queue, Freak, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting in on the Teemo thumbs up. It's the new hotness. Closer
thumbs up.
Closer literally spams it every single 30 seconds, I feel like, in the Champions Queue games, even when nobody's streaming the game. But this one, definitely appropriate as FlyQuest. A pretty good handle. With this Baron buff, they've got a full minute left to use it. That is a full 2 more minion waves, 30 seconds for each wave to push with. And Kumo
doesn't take damage.
He's just in his lane, unbothered, moisturized, Gragas, flourishing.
Yeah, I mean, he is positively glowing. I don't know how he got skin this good, but it's looking pretty good. As the base falls down, it's cool to see. You know, we got RTS players who spam clicking their workers. You know, you got some people who just hit all the F keys, look at their lanes. You know, let's just hit the emote wheel constantly. You know, that's the nervous fidget for League players right now. I think that's a positive situation to be in. I would like to see the EPM, emotes per minute, and, you know, graph that against win rate, because I feel like there's going to be some really tight correlation there.
Yeah.
I'm going to say causation right away. Cause the win.
Then you also have players like FBI that just spams tab incessantly.
Oh,
if you watch his stream, it is always on. I feel like that one, actually, you get into some issues with wrist problems. So, like, sometimes, you know, having that, you know, extra key to hit is comforting, does keep you warmed up. But man, can definitely be another cause for some of the most prominent issues that plague gamers. Do your stretches out there, everybody.
Do your stretches. Here we
Wrist
go.
stretches. We'll do some right now.
Put your right arm out.
Fast.
Take your fingers and pull them sort of gently back towards your elbow.
Yep.
Very gently. Stretch out the wrist.
If we could get a shot up here, maybe.
Switch
because
hands. Here we go. Let's count to 10.
FlyQuest have
Again, don't
all
push
the
too
time
hard.
in the world.
Don't push too hard. It's just want to feel a little bit of tension. There you go.
This way.
Stretch them out. Yeah.
Get down.
You can,
there's
you can,
another
you
one
can
where
roll the fingers
you do each stage like this.
Oh yeah.
I don't really know the exact
I don't know.
technical execution of it, but it looks like that.
It looks like that, more or less. It's pretty solid.
Anyways, back to this game. FlyQuest with this Ocean
Did you see him? He's going to almost one-shot Shenyi! And the stopwatch is there as well. Zeri dives in, and oh, will Zeri dive out? Jose has to get right back out. Health bar's low. Can he find the ulti? It's Kumo getting one from over the wall. Back in for number 2. Goodbye to the bottom lane. And TSM going right back where they started with another L on the scoreboard here. FlyQuest pushing to get more done. Baron buff may be over. They got a lot out of the Red Bull Baron power play, but now it's time to maybe just close the game out. 30-second respawns. Looking for bottom lane here.
Here we go, FlyQuest. Nothing's going to stop them now. Kumo could easily tank this turret. Let's see if he actually will just gain life as he's tanking it. No problem.
Down 120. Darn.
And one more ability, and he'll gain it all back.
Yeah, true. And here we go. As long as you can damage someone, you get a little bit for minions, you get a lot more to get champions, and he's back to full, ready to go for the Nexus turrets. Shenyi's back alive, but Shenyi doesn't have an ultimate, and that means turret number 1 will fall. Cask is down, Flash is down, so FlyQuest say, okay, collect the mid wave, maybe it's going to be a reset. Keep in mind, Elder Dragon up in 20. They have to cross their T's to authorize to play this one correctly, because they haven't spent off that last fight. They are down some ultis, and TSM, I think, have to try for this play here.
Yeah, I mean, that is really the only hope that remains. Spica gets caught.
So down, able to jump away. Nice damage to the backline. Shenyi low, so is Takeover. And Huni can't get much done, sadly cannot punch through the front line here. Dragon now alive.
Yeah, it's hard to even dent.
He could have smited a minion. I know he's gonna get second smite back up, but like, you're still playing for Dragon.
Fair enough. Let's get to that Dragon. FlyQuest started up. TSM, as you said, this is their last hope in the game. Make the team fight happen. Steal away this Elder Dragon. You get an objective bounty if you can just know when they're
it's the leash, and he's just gone right away. Another one in for Jose Diodo. Burns a stopwatch and the stuns. Gets right back over the jump. And now gonna go for round 2. They might kill the leash in, though. He's burning down. He will die. Well, then Nahuni finds one on the board. Jumps back over. Looks for Tukui. Can he get him? They're trying. thing, and they do find it in the end. Not bad for a team fight. TSM go 2 for 2. However, everyone is outside of the pit, and unless
There's
Shenyi
no
pulls
jungler
a
for
miracle,
FlyQuest. They don't have a smite, so if any TSM member could get closer, they would have had a chance at a steal, but Kumo comes to make sure the way is clear. You know, even like a Zeri laser could have stolen that, getting really close there, so even with the junglers both dead, FlyQuest zone them out. They pick up that Elder Dragon. That should be full priority to transition to Baron. And with Baron number 2's pushing power, FlyQuest will march on TSM's stronghold.
They need to go for Baron, they can. Keep in mind, Elder Buff is only on 3 champions, but that is, as you said, going to be the map. Watch that fight. Speaker just gets one shot.
Yeah, I mean, FlyQuest are looking for the jungler the entire time. They know it's just going to be the possible steal. Takoi ends up hitting a magnificent stun over the wall onto both members, so they immediately take out Spica, but then Tony actually pulls a lot of it back and is able to finish off Jose, take over with the all-in, gets the burst damage, and then Takoi barely gets his last Q off just as Huni's ultimate times out to get that counter kill.
Naked 3-3 on the map, and now with Elder Dragon claimed, it's going to be an easy road. Good job, an uncontestable Baron. Number 2 now on the board for FlyQuest.
Yeah.
Taking some time to close it out. I mean, TSM are fighting valiantly. FlyQuest have felt in control from about 12 minutes on.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time to reflect on the current standings here. We had the discussion on the analyst desk between Raz and Jat as far as where this team is going to end up. And after a rough super weekend for FlyQuest, dropping all 3 games, they're trying to correct course here versus TSM. Yes, it's currently the 10th place team, but the road starts here for FlyQuest, marching right back up those standings.
Indeed. The fight for playoffs is definitely going to be really, really tight, honestly. Going to 6-4 keeps you in that position for now. And wait to see your other 8 games, but another turret to fall. This is the last inhibitor turret, and it is now dead. FlyQuest have complete reign over the base. We'll see if they can take over more than just the enemy mid laner. Is Huni going to wait for his next play? Kumo shoves in mid lane, shepherds that one with the Baron buff. Should be pretty easy here. Next inhibitor to fall. And at what point can TSM fight? Maybe at a Nexus turret because of the power. Elder Dragon also timing out in 20 seconds. I think it's good to wait until that happens. But Huni gonna lose all his cooldowns. Has to run the ulti to not get killed with the Elder Dragon, but they're gonna get the next fight. They get sucked into a battle. Not in front of turrets, not in front of anything, but just to get the kills. Not gonna dive into the fountain. Looks for the calf, looks for a kill. There you go. Clean them up. TSM are sent back to the fountain, and they won't even respawn in it anymore because they're all gonna drop, they're all gonna die. One traded back, but the Nexus falls. FlyQuest takes down TSM.
FlyQuest rack him up, and Jose knocks him down. Quadra kill for Lee Sin, steals away the dragon with 46 HP. The man came to play today.
Yeah, that's got to feel pretty good. I got to give a ton of credit, though, a ton of credit to Jonathan and Afro for playing that first dive well. It was a hard 4v2 that can easily be 2-0 and a walk away. They stepped up, cleared the wave, landed CC at good times, made TSM play the fight long. Went 1 for 1, and then mid lane came down to make it a 2 for 2. Like, that was really, really well done. And that does so much, right? Because that's where TSM spent the effort, and it became a neutral play. FlyQuest put the effort top lane, and Kuma never looked back. Like, Kuma was crushing one going the whole time. He did so much. That was just really well done. So 4-0 now, where Kuma gets counter-effected top lane, where he likes the matchup, can play it pretty safely. They can spend effort elsewhere. Good job.
And I also like that it doesn't have to be a one-dimensional counter pick. When people think of counter pick, just being picked after the opponent champion, it doesn't have to be this 1v1 ego game, okay? Drop the ego, play some tanks, play some disengage, shut them down for the team.
Yep, well done. Good job, FlyQuest. We'll see if they can get any more. Now it's time for a step away, but on the other side,